Hi, Scary Recaps here. Today, I'm going to explain the movie Revenge from 2017. Beware of spoilers. Richard is a married man who is having an affair with Jennifer. The two of them decide to spend some time together in a luxurious house in the middle of the desert. After they settle in, they meet Richard's associates, Stan and Dimitri, who have come to hunt game with him. The four of them hang out and party in the house when Jennifer notices a weird substance called peyote, a powerful drug gifted by Roberto, the helicopter pilot. Richard asks from Jennifer to hide the drug and she puts it in her necklace. Later that night, Jennifer dances with Stan, who sees her as more than just a friend. The next day, Richard leaves the house for a job and Dimitri hangs out in the pool. Jennifer feels awkward by Stan staring at her and goes to her bedroom. Stan stalks her and sees her naked, apologizing and then offering her to work for him. Jennifer refuses and Stan asks her if she likes him. Jennifer says that she prefers tall guys and Stan is frustrated for being denied. He then proceeds to rape Jennifer while Dimitri does nothing. When Richard returns to the house, Jennifer tells him that she wants to leave. She asks him to call the helicopter, but Richard says that that is not possible and instead offers her money to forget what has happened. Jennifer, however, insists, threatening to call Richard's wife, at which Richard smacks Jennifer in the face. Jennifer then runs away and Richard, Stan and Dimitri chase her into the desert. Jennifer is soon cornered at a cliff and Richard promises her that she will leave. He calls Roberto and tells Jennifer that the helicopter will be there in about 30 minutes. Jennifer starts to feel a little better, but then Richard pushes her off the cliff. Jennifer falls down and gets impaled on a tree. Stan is shocked, but Richard says to him and Dimitri that they need to cover this up. They return to the house, leaving Jennifer for dead. But Jennifer regains consciousness and breaks free from the tree by setting it on fire. Meanwhile, Richard and his men return to dispose of the body, but Jennifer manages to hide in time. The three men are dumbfounded and Stan says to Richard that they can still fix this by taking Jennifer to a hospital. But Richard doesn't want to leave loose ends. With him in charge, the three men start searching for Jennifer by following a trail of her blood. They soon arrive at a lake and there decide to split up to cover more ground. In the meantime, Jennifer hides under the water to avoid detection and sneaks up on Dimitri, taking his rifle. She pulls the trigger, but the safety is on, and Dimitri starts to beat Jennifer and attempts to drown her in the lake. Jennifer, however, retrieves his knife and stabs him twice in the head. Dimitri dies, and Jennifer takes a bike from his truck and a few supplies and retreats into a cave. Opening her necklace, Jennifer finds the peyote and decides to eat it in order to numb herself and to tend to her wound. The effect is radical, as her senses become so acute like never before. Not feeling the slightest amount of pain, she takes out a piece of branch from her belly and cauterizes the wound with an aluminium beer can, eventually falling unconscious. The next day, Richard surprises Stan by throwing a dead animal on his windshield. Stan goes out to urinate and discovers Dimitri's corpse floating on the lake. Stan starts to lose it and Richard punches him in the face, breaking his nose. Meanwhile, Jennifer has multiple nightmares of Richard blowing her head off with a shotgun and of Dimitri's corpse talking to her. She wakes up in terror but soon pulls herself together and leaves the cave, bent for revenge. Through Dimitri's goggles, she searches for Richard and Stan as the men also search for her. Richard tells Stan to split up again. Stan uses a mirror to check up his nose and teeth after Richard's punch, and Jennifer finds him out by the reflection. She follows him on foot, and as Stan stops to refuel his car, Jennifer shoots him from afar. Stan is injured in the shoulder, and Jennifer goes to finish him. Stan runs away, leaving behind a trail of blood, which Jennifer follows. Stan realizes that he's being pursued and takes off one of his boots and ties his wound. Jennifer loses Stan, who surprises her from behind. He tries to shoot her in the head, but the pain in his shoulder causes him to miss, and instead, he blows her earlobe off. Jennifer is wounded, but gets up quickly and runs away, leaving pieces of shattered glass. As Stan chases her on foot, he steps on the glass and severely injures his foot. He takes out the piece of glass and promptly returns to his car. Stan then goes after Jennifer, who shoots him in the head through the windshield and kills him. Jennifer then takes Stan's car and leaves. In the meantime, Richard tries in vain to contact Stan. He realizes that he is all alone now against Jennifer and decides to return to the house. He calls Roberto and asks him to pick him up as soon as possible with the helicopter. Richard then goes to have a shower and is startled by a sound. He takes his shotgun and searches around until Jennifer comes and shoots him in the belly. Richard crawls away and Jennifer goes after him, following a trail of his blood. Richard hides in a corner, waiting for Jennifer to appear, but Jennifer sees the blood on the floor and decides to come from another way. Richard ties his wound and engages in a deadly game of cat and mouse with Jennifer. As Jennifer runs to finish Richard, she suddenly slips on the bloody floor and falls down. Richard shows up and knocks her in the head. He tries to strangle her, but Jennifer presses hard against the bullet wound in his stomach and manages to take the shotgun, with which she kills Richard. As a bloody Jennifer walks out of the house, she hears the helicopter coming and turns around like a wild and fierce animal.